Alright, hello, it's Cameron. I'm vlogging from on my ship webcam with my microphone like over there where you can't hear me properly, so I'm gonna like lean over like this and talk into it. It's a little better. Maybe you're supposed to talk in like at this angle though, so it's kind of, yeah, I'm kind of wasting that right there. But I have no pants on also. But the good news is that I'm vlogging. The bad news is I have not watched anyone else's vlogs. Yeah, I know. And I have no idea what all the questions are, although I was told in person that some of the questions were pretty awesome. So I'm gonna have to look into the past vlogs and have a vlog of mine where I just, like, first, spend the day doing a marathon of other people's vlogs for like 3 or 4 hours. Hopefully, because hopefully other people have been vlogging. I've been checking up on you all. But, and then answering all the questions and shit they ask in their vlogs. So, oopsie. Unfortunately, I'm not a very good like organizational leader or role model because I'm absent-minded. If you've never seen the black and white film, The Absent-Minded Professor, it's hilarious, and will explain me to you. So watch that. I feel like I'm really not getting a good deal out of this HD webcam because the software for it is shit, and you can't really configure it properly, so it just shows the realistic, actual kind of dim lighting in here and gets you decent frame rates. Instead, you're getting like 5 FPS on this fucking video, and so I'm all blurred and laggy. But whatever. So things that are awesome. I'm taking summer classes. Yay! The actual awesome part that I didn't know about is that I will be apparently getting paid. And by paid, I mean I'm receiving grant money for school. Pay to take these classes. I don't know how much, but some amount of funding. I mean, as long as it's at least like $200, it will have fucking covered my books. So that would be just fantastic because I had to buy these 2 books for this class. It's $160 just for the one class is books. I hate paying for books. I'm trying to sign up for EOPS though, which may pay for part of my books. So it'll only be like $160 when I have to take 3 classes worth of books. Oh, something that's awesome that I'm gonna probably talk the rest of the video about. Me and a friend are going to attempt to make over the summer the first version, I guess, playable version of a not a remake, but an inspired by game. Basically, we're gonna make a top-down RPG action arcade video game, and it's inspired by this really old game from 1995 called Gladiator. If you haven't heard of it, there's like a program that remade it called OpenGlad. They did it all legally and free, but we're gonna make our own game that is inspired by it. It has similar genre, but it's not really the same game at all. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So basically, because it's a 2D game with inherently shitty graphics, and because of the advances in technology, I think we can make a game that looks a little bit shinier, and plays a little bit shinier, more polished, even with our crappier coding, probably than whatever those guys had, unless they were basement guys too in 1995, in which case, probably better coding too. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh right, it's not a very challenging project, but you can implement a lot of cool features in it, I believe. We'll see how this goes. I know Java, and we're gonna be coding in C#, which I've got to learn. So I don't know how hard it's gonna turn out to be. But C# is very, very similar to Java. Java. I've been told. I said Java, like Jabba the Hutt. Java always makes me think of that. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty easy. I've looked at it a little bit. It looks very similar to Java. It probably doesn't make any sense to you, but games make sense to everyone, even if you don't play them. At least a little bit of sense, right? So we're trying to do some cool things. There's a physics engine for. All right. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. We're using C and XNA Game Studio, which is made by Microsoft, and we can use that and then commercially release our game if we wanted to, without anything else, totally free. If we wanted to release it on Xbox or something, we'd have to pay money, but other than that, no. And it helps you with 2D stuff, graphics, that kind of thing. There's also a physics engine, a 2D physics engine out for XNA and C#. So we can use that as well to to help speed along our development process. And by engine, I mean it's got a bunch of stuff like already programmed. Like if I want to make a guy get knocked backwards, right, by something hitting him, and have him knocked backwards based on how much force it hits him with, I can just instead of writing pages and pages of code, not that many pages, a couple pages of code to do this, I will have to write a couple of lines of code. So like 2 sentences instead of a short essay or a long essay. Actually, it's more like a long research paper. Actually, so that's very helpful. And I'm sorry. Well, feel free, of course, anytime if you're totally bored by what or mystified by what I'm talking about, just turn off the video. But anyhow, so we want to make it easy for us to do, right? Because we've never done this before, and we don't want to just give up on it and stop halfway through. So we've got to make it kind of easy for us. And so we're trying to make sure we break it up into kind of chunk-sized bites of features. And there's some easy stuff to do. Make a little game where you run around and throw sticks or chop things or something to kill them, and you have some classes you can pick, and you can level up, and you can go through levels of the game. You can play through levels. That's pretty easy. That's something we should be able to pull off over the summer, no problem. And there's other features we really want to have in there, like the total range of classes. We want like 9 classes, and we want these classes to be able to level up into like prestige classes, right? Like you can go from mage to archmage. You can start as a little undead thing or a slime and upgrade from that to like a necromancer or an elemental of some kind, like fire, water, earth, etc. And have different things like that, and have things like if you get knocked into water, stuff happens. Certain characters can drown, some characters can swim, some characters can walk on water. You've got trees that some characters can chop through. That sort of thing, right? And we want to make sure that everything has hit points, right? By everything, I mean like trees and buildings and everything except the ground that you walk on. The ground, actually, I'm thinking we probably should put hit points on the ground too, because if this all goes well, the next set of features are really too big to include in the first game, right? The first game should have, the first goal is, playable game with like 30 to 40 levels of campaign with a cheesy comedy storyline, right? The storyline is based around comedy. I was about to tell you what it is, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to try and get whoever actually watches these, I may try and get you to play this game if you're all interested in little 2D arcade action games with some RPG elements built in at some point. But so I won't ruin the storyline. But it's going to be comedy, kind of like Magica or Portal style comedy if you've played either of those games. And just goofy stuff going on in the campaign. And then we'll have 50 bonus challenge levels and 10 bonus campaign related levels where you can clear up bits of the story and have jokes cracked. The challenge levels don't really have any story or anything or jokes. You just kill lots of stuff and it's hard, right? And there's a shit ton of them. If you get to the end of the challenge levels too and finish every level in the game, something special happens, right? Because you gotta have some reward for the hardcore people. And for the other, long range. So for the long-term things, we want to have stuff like online multiplayer. Not necessarily with a lot of players, but we do want to have online matches where you can play versus other players, possibly with NPCs, maybe not. And we want to have an engineer class that can build stuff. Walls, dig tunnels underground. So we have it multi-leveled, multi-tiered maps. That's more challenging. And we want to have on the same computer 2-player split screen, and stuff like that. So that would be possibly a sequel even to the game. If we do it maybe next summer, we'll try and work on what we've got so far and come out with a really cool game. And maybe if we get a really good one in in an expansion pack or sequel version, we may release it as a commercial game, indie game. We probably will never make a lot of money on it, but it's pretty cool. And I think we've actually come up with something that's fairly manageable. It's interesting, at least I would want to play this game, so that's good. And it's gonna be a pretty cool learning experience and a lot of fun, hopefully. So far, the planning stage it hasn't. We'll see how it goes. Actual coding. I've had fun coding so far. So now my time is up. I think I've talked your ear off quite a bit. If you're still here, awesome. Dude, go high five yourself in the mirror and do something awesome for yourself today. I challenge you to do that. Do something cool for yourself. Be happy. Come on. Challenge you!